Thank you very much. I feel a little bit of a fraud here. I don't necessarily have the intellectual and spiritual and kind of academic input. My main reason for being here is I did that very modern thing of having a series of kind of deeply personal reflections and posting them all over Twitter. And those reflections were that I was lonely. I felt a period of time where I felt lonely, and I opened up on that. So I wonder if I'll just trace that a little. So, I mean, essentially, me and my wonderful wife decided to treat ourselves. We have 7 children. We need respite now and again. We took a trip to Settle on the train. Carlisle to Settle. It's beautiful. I recommend it. It's cheap, affordable. It's very good. And we went, lovely day, raining, went into a pub. And in this pub, I still remember, actually, cheese pie and gravy. It was delicious. But next to the fire were 4 men, just supping their pints, doing absolutely nothing. Just sat, just talking, just shooting the breeze. And I looked at them and I thought, that reminds me nothing so much as my own childhood, of my granddad, my dad, the dominoes, the billiards, the bridge club, the cricket club, the Legion, the social, mass. And I thought, I don't have that. I don't have that. I'm lonely. And when I say lonely, I don't mean alone. I mean, I don't have male companionship. Now, of course, as soon as you open up that door, in comes, these feelings of envy also come accompanied by a load of guilt, because you think, well, is something wrong with me? By all accounts, I'm doing okay, professionally doing all right. I've got a family who are wonderful, who I love to bits. Are they suddenly not enough? Is this what midlife crisis is? Am I about to go and get my ears pierced? But actually, I think it was possibly a bit more than that. I think it was possibly a reflection of the fact that my life had followed a different path to my gramps and to my dad. And with that have come trade-offs. See, my life was a bit more rootless. I followed the social mobility dream. I moved around. I followed the career path. I looked after my family. I was provider. I was protector. And I thought I was doing the right thing. But the trade-off was that I lived a fairly shallow existence in friendships and in place. And that comes back to bite. So anyway, like I say, I took to Twitter, shared that with the world. And I've got to say, the engagement blew me away. I thought I might be a little bit of a minority. And that wasn't the case at all. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of replies and actually lots of private messages too, 143 all told, because I tried to respond to them all. And if I'm honest, it was naive. There were some guys who were really struggling and I didn't have the ability to help. But one thing that came up time and time and time again was, this speaks to me. I've got a family, love and adore my children, my wife. I'm doing okay at work, and there is a hole. There's something missing, and I don't know how to speak about it. So, I mean, from that experience, there was at least something positive to know that it wasn't just me, that this is something more broadly, and the demographic that I had in mind, the kind of similar to me, it seemed like it wasn't something we're talking about a great deal. And so from there, possibly just a few reflections, if that's okay, just to kind of grease the wheels a bit. Firstly, so much stuff, when I started looking into this, so much stuff keeps on telling blokes to talk. And I do get it, it's good. But actually, I would feel like I didn't really want to talk. It just felt, I don't want to seem kind of like caveman, but it just felt a bit cringe. What I wanted was stuff to do. I wanted to be with people and do stuff and just kind of know that somebody's got my back like I've got theirs. That was a big thing. Next, and this is, well, it's about the midlife crisis thing. I adore my Mrs. Merrick. She's absolutely wonderful. But I do wonder if my commitment to try and be a good dad and a good husband meant that my life was work, home, office, home. That was the way I was being the modern man. That's the way I was fulfilling my obligations to my family. And I wonder now if that has just concentrated down my social relationships to such a narrow circle, in a way that when I speak to my wife about this, she doesn't feel. Because ironically, she raised the children. She gets out to groups all the time. She meets loads of people. And that wasn't something that I had. So I wondered if there was something there and that needs an action. But we men aren't great at going and being sociable because, again, cringe. And then, two last quick thoughts. Anybody who knows me knows that I will rant about social mobility given half the option, but there is a reality here. And the reality is that within education, and picking up on the Abbott's comments here, For so long, we've had this kind of Odyssean myth of self-empowerment that the education is freedom. It's freedom to raise above and beyond. It's freedom to leave. I mean, even the language we use, to not be constrained or restrained by your background or your circumstance or your parents' wages. I just think we get that wrong badly. Firstly, we get it wrong what it means to be educated. To be educated isn't to be free of everything. For me, it means to be more deeply embedded, more inculcated, more kind of inducted into the wider society and culture around you. But secondly, we get it wrong because, as I said in the talk that Tiffany referred to, it kind of means that success means not being like your mum or dad, and that means leaving. It means going away, getting your degree, going to find the grad jobs, and going to the places where the grad jobs exist, which is quite often, I grew up in Stockton-on-Tees. It's not there. It's somewhere else. So social mobility is a factor here. And the last thing, the church. So when I spoke yesterday, like, I have this terrible habit that I sometimes, I manage, like, my mind runs away from me, and I put things in great kind of metaphysical kind of terms. And I talked yesterday in education about the problem of disenchantment and alienation. And I like to think I've got quite a robust faith, and I didn't know if that was a problem. But I suppose the flip side is that even with the big picture stuff, there is also practical stuff that can get in the way. And so I suppose a challenge to my own community. I now live near Carlisle, which historically had football clubs, a Catholic church which had football clubs, it had boxing clubs, it had social clubs, the beer was cheap, the nights were long. It was that kind of place. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what exists just for the males anymore. And I don't mean just for the males to be exclusive, but for males to primarily come together. It doesn't exist. But in those 143 messages, I had 14 invites to join Andy's Man Club. I had 6 invites to join the Freemasons. Those who know anything about us Catholics will know how that went down. I had 3 invites to come to the local mosque. One of them from a woman, actually, who said men need their time together. I had 3 invites to become a Buddhist. I had precisely 0 invites to come to church. I don't know if that is something for us to think more deeply about. Thank you.
Thank you.